Hi everybody! Today for our drawing class, we're going to be drawing Poppy from the movie Trolls. So when we first start, we're going to start with her head. There are a couple of lines that I won't be able to erase because I'm using a marker, but if you're using a pencil, you can erase them. So I want to start with her head right here in the middle. I have to have room for her tall hair and then room for her body. So I'm going to start with that nice, good circle right here. And there's her head. Good. The next thing that we're going to add are her ears on the side. So her ears, they kind of curve out and down and back close to her head. I'm going to leave a little space there because I'm going to have hair coming out later. Same thing on this side. We're going to go out, curve down towards her head. Good. And then we're going to add some hair marks on her face. So I'm kind of going to start here, even with her ear, but over to the side of her head. I'm going to curve down, out of her head, and then stop. And then I'm going to curve back up, right there where I ended her ear, to the side of her head, and up just a little bit. Same thing on this side. I'm going to start right here, kind of even with her ear, and I'm going to curve down and right below her ear, and curve it out. She's got hair flipping out. And then I'm going to curve it back up, go through the headline, and make them even. Good, and then we're going to add one more. This one's kind of going to be a bang that comes down and curve on top of that line, and then give it a point. And then we're going to move on to her eyes. So her eyes are just right here below her hair. We're going to start with this one over here, give it a circle, and then the smaller circle on the inside, and then the pupil. And same thing on this side, except for this one, her eye is going to be behind her hair just a little bit. So I'm going to start here at her hair, make my circle, and then stop when I get to the top up there. Same thing, one more circle, and a pupil on the inside. There's her eyes. Then we're going to move down below her eyes, and we're going to work on her nose. So her nose is going to start with this little bump there. And then we have a little bump on the bottom, but I didn't connect them. And then we're going to give two little circles right here on the edge and connect them both on both sides. And there's her nose. Then we're going to give her a nice big smile. She's very happy. So big curve. Good. One more really big curve. And close it off. And then we're going to add her some teeth in here. So just some little rectangles in there. And there's her teeth. Very happy Poppy. Good. And then here in between her hair, we're going to come back up and we're going to give her her flower headband. So I'm just going to add one U shaped right there. And then I'm going to do one more on this side. See how they're connected? One more on this side. And then we're going to give it a little circle in the middle. That's the beginning of the flower. And then we're going to add little U shapes in between the curves here. And there's one flower. Then we're going to come right over here and add another one. So I'm going to start with the same U shape. One more U shape. And then one more. This one's going to go outside of her headline. So if that's a mark that you might want to erase if you're using a pencil. And then I'm going to give this circle on the inside. And I'm only going to do two U's on this one. Here's her flower headband. And then we're going to close it off. Two lines over to the side. We're going to connect these two with those two lines. And then make sure you have one more that closes it off over there on the very edge. Good job. All right, We're gonna move downward for her body. So we're gonna start with her neck. We're gonna give her a little V right here, right under her chin. That's gonna be where her shirt V's down. And then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna add a little collar to her shirt. So a little hook right there. Good. And then we're gonna curve outward and around. That's gonna be her first arm. Her arms are gonna be folded, so we're not gonna see her hands. So I'm gonna curve out and back in, right under that V. Good, and then we'll do the same thing on this side. So I'm gonna curve down, out, and back in, but this time I'm gonna go way over here by her elbow. So curve down, around. I'm gonna barely touch that line. Right in there. Good, and then I'm gonna come over here and add a little line. So that's where her arm goes in between the other one, so you can't see it. And then we'll come back down. And then from there, we're gonna give her a little bump. It's gonna give her that shoulder line. So just give a little curve up. And then we're gonna close it off right here. So that's gonna be where her dress ends and her arm begins. There she is. Good, and then we'll come down here and we'll expand her dress just a little bit. So I'm gonna come down. Same thing on this side. Come down. And then we'll close it off at the bottom. There's her feet, her dress. Now we're gonna add some feet. So we'll give 2 lines down. There's her first leg. And now we need to add a little bump here. That's gonna add for her foot, and then we'll add her little toes. So the first foot line, and we'll give a teeny tiny foot line right here. And then we're just gonna curve around and up, little U shapes. And there's her toes. We'll add 1 more foot over here. So her legs are gonna be touching. So I'm just gonna start with 1 more line this way. And then I'll come down a little bit, give her a foot. And then this one's gonna be sideways, so she only needs the foot mark, and then 1 toe that touches the side. Other toes are behind that big toe. Good. And then we gotta move up here. We're gonna work on her hair. So her hair is gonna be like a fountain coming off of her head. So we'll start right here in the middle, curve up and out. Good. And then curve back in. And then from that same line, we'll do a bigger curve out and a skinny curve back in. And then we're gonna move over here to this side, so back towards her head. You're gonna curve up and out, back in and out and in. So as I'm making those curves, I'm moving upward on the side of her hair here. Good. I'm gonna do 1 more. Kind of off the page there, that's okay. Good. And then these 2, I'm not gonna connect them. What I'm gonna do is add 1 right here in the middle. So I'm just gonna give that little point. There's your poppy hair. Good. And then we're gonna give her some details in her ear. So ears, they have those little marks. We're just gonna give a little S shape. Little S shape. Good. And then I think I might add 1 more flower on this side of her headband. So I'm gonna start with a U shape inward and out. 1 more. And that little circle in the middle. And there you have it. There's Poppy from Trolls. All you've got to do is color. You guys did a wonderful job. Thank you for drawing with me today.